recognize the turn even if I seen it. Been driving all along, feel like I'm dreaming. Okay.
What's up, y'all? This is Vocab Malone and my man I've known for... What's up, y'all? This is Vocab Malone and my man I've known for 20-some years. 20-some years, right?
At least.
At least, yeah. Well, Marvin, Sumter, can you please tell the people about yourself before we start? And this program is Christian hip hop artist is going to react to some clips with me. And this show is Street Apologists Live, the show where we serve the underserved and look into the overlooked. And we're going to play some clips and then react with y'all in the live chat. But Marvin, tell people about yourself because I want them to find your music and download it.
Hey, you see it at Marvin Sumter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Arizona native, Phoenix, Arizona, South Phoenix. Born and raised here, you know. I'm an Arizona boy. I'm an Arizona man, you know. Hip hop for real. And keep it clean. Shout out to all the rappers that keep it clean, who can get their point across and keep it clean. Keep doing what you're doing. There's very few of us in our class that can do what we do.
That's true. Now, everyone, I need you to tell me how the audio sounds. In previous shows, you said the clips were too loud and the mic on the audio was too quiet. And so we're going to talk more about Marvin and his projects with Christian hip hop and stuff like that in a little bit here. But for now, we're just going to react to some clips. And I think Marvin, you're a good candidate for this because you're a smart guy, a creative guy, and you know about some of this stuff, but some of it's also new to you. And I think it'll be very interesting to see how you react.
Yeah, I came to learn some stuff, too. I came to learn some stuff also.
Excellent. Okay, so let's get into the first clip. So let me give a little bit of background. The first one we're going to play is from the early 90s. This is when One West Hebrew Israelism was primarily centered in the Northeast, Philly, Jersey, New York. But sometimes these guys would travel or set up camps. But I believe this guy's traveling. He's a general in the organization, if I'm not mistaken. And, this one's not the one where he travels to Cali. Sorry, what I just said is true, but I remember in the first clip, this one is on the streets of Queens, Jamaica. Remember when we were old Tribe Called Quest songs, they talk about being on Jamaica Ave? Mm-hmm. He's on Jamaica Ave in Queens, New York in this clip right here, the first one. And you're going to see the anti-African element of One West Israelism right away. So that's what we're going to show. And by the way, hit the like button, share this. Please comment in the live chat, and we will get to your questions. First clip, here we go.
Thinking that this is you. You want to be an African, go do this. Go drink some blood. You want to know why the African skin is looking all dull like it do? They don't have the luster that you brothers and sisters have. Their skin is like damn sandpaper or something, man. Why you black sisters don't look like this? You don't look like the Africans. You don't act like them. You don't smell like them. They got the damn heathens right here.
So I'm going to stop because this is a minute and a half. So you just said,
Okay. Is he referring to the black woman as a heathen?
So what it is... Marvin, the Hebrew Israelites of this variety do not believe they are African. They believe they are Israelites who lived on the African continent temporarily before they were captured as enslaved persons. And so they're using this to try to get Black Americans to distance themselves from the notion that they're African by saying, basically, I'm not saying this, okay? This is what they're saying. Look how bad off these Africans are. You want to be like them, go drink cow blood and have ashy skin. That's what he was just saying.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah. What was the blood source?
It was from a cow. So there's these videos, or I believe so. That's my understanding. There's these videos and stuff where you'll sometimes see maybe tribes that seem to have a little bit of maybe backward practices, perhaps, and they kind of highlight those. They don't highlight advancements or positive or sophisticated. They tend to highlight perceived negative ritualistic behaviors. And so, you know, when you listen to this, you're like, this is like something you think of like a Klansman saying this stuff. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I hear you.
You don't think, but listen one more time and tell me if you see what he's saying. And so they're showing a picture from a book there. And this is in the early 90s. And Hebrew Israelism hasn't changed that much as far as this type of Hebrew Israelism. Not all Hebrew Israelites speak this way. But here we go again.
Thinking that this is you. You want to be an African, go do this.
But here he said, thinking that this is you. He's trying to convince them they're an Israelite. So part of the way they do that is look how bad off these African.
So technically, wouldn't it be a difference between someone feeling they're African versus feeling they're African American? Because he said,
well, see that chart up there where it says Judah at the top? That would be, if you're African American, they're saying you're actually of Judah. That's not an African though. They're separating the two.
Gotcha. Which that whole chart thing is kind of, some of them are deciding that that's not actually real amongst themselves now, right?
Yeah, finally, some of them are catching on the fact that it was invented essentially out of nowhere, as it doesn't have much fat. But see, now the video is very grainy,
right?
But you can kind of see it's an African child there,
like kneeling down, and he's drinking it out of something.
Because I've seen the clearer version of this in the modern era. But listen to what he's about to say. It's some messed up, and it's very sort of subjective stuff. That's like, is that really true?
Go drink some blood. You want to know why the African skin is looking all dull like it do? They don't have the luster that you brothers and sisters have.
I mean, he's saying you're superior to them, and he's about to say it's because they drink blood and stuff. You know,
I'm very thrown off by what his message. That's a lot going on here.
You trying to keep track?
I'm trying to. All right.
Okay, we'll keep track. Here we go.
It's like damn sandpaper or something, man. Why you crack?
Oh, and you see she had the like in Wakanda Forever and the lip ring. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're
I was going to ask, did they kiss? Like, they didn't kiss? Like,
who?
I mean, if that's in her lip, did they kiss? You know what I mean? Whoever her dude is, they didn't.
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, they kissed. Somebody did something because there's a baby there.
Why you black sisters don't look like this?
So, why do you guys look better? So this is a way to get people to think we're not African.
You don't look like the Africans. You don't act like them. You don't smell like them.
All right.
They got a different vibration, is how they would say it in their lingo.
They got the damn heathens right here.
So now he's actually panning the camera out to actual Africans amongst them and saying, there go the damn heathens right there. So there's Africans on Jamaica Avenue in Queens, and they're literally pointing them out.
I wonder what his woman looks like.
She's got smooth skin with no ash on it, apparently, because she doesn't drink blood.
Here you go, right here. Bring that picture over here, Crush. Here you go.
Wait, you hear the song?
Let it go again.
That's an old.
Was that cute? That wasn't Q-Tip, was it?
No. Isn't that wasn't it Ice Cube? Hold on, listen.
Really?
Oh no, Cypress Hill. I think that was Cypress Hill. Anyways, he's showing the African shop owners, but I just heard the song in the background. So what song was that? Somebody? I think it's from Cypress Hill's first album. But here, listen to this.
Here you go. So you don't want to see your own people? Listen, bring it over here. He don't want to see his own people. Bring the picture over here. Put it up next to him. That's them right there. That's the African.
I don't think that's Cypress Hill. Does it? Who? Anybody know who that is?
They used to really. I mean, they're dope, but I was about to say they had a different sound there.
So he's now. I wonder if the dude is selling bootlegs, because it looks like he might be selling bootlegs. I can't tell, but he's literally panning the camera around, showing the African gentleman and saying, "Look," and then they bring the book up next to the guy. Imagine seeing this in the street in real time.
Yeah, that's too much.
Hey, who's this? Is that your friend, Mars Life?
That's my son. What up, son?
Oh, hold on. You know what? You want to give him a little something? Shout out to Marv's Life.
Marvin III. What up?
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Bree and Babes as well. All right, so watch this. Here we go.
So you don't want to see your own people? Listen, Bring it over here. He don't want to see his own people. Bring the pitch over here.
He don't want to see his own people. Like he knows he's from that particular group. It's in the book, you know.
Right. Just I mean, that's disrespectful.
General Yasser Juan, you should be ashamed of yourself. Look at this. This is crazy. You see the time on here? 1 year ago. This religion's growing in popularity. They're starting to go into archives and upload the old ones. This has only been on internet for a year. This clip.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They're uploading the classics here.
So there's not a lot of tact
Oh,
in messaging.
no,
Not
no,
a lot
no.
of tact. Because I'm all for believing what you believe in. But for me, a big part of things is having tact and respect in the approach to people to try to get your point across.
No. That's
not something to even wait for.
They don't care about that, man. You're looking at the wrong religion here, man. But here we go.
Put it up next to him. That's them right there. That's the African right there. These are not your people, man. Some of these damn pocketbooks and tapes.
Oh, he is bootlegging, though. I did call it. He is bootlegging.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He is because I got so many clips I forgot. Hey, what J's are those? Are those J's?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. I had the Pro Wings and the XJs. I had the XJs. The main XJs, I'll tell you that.
Hey, can you put the mic a tad closer? Because I'm deep and low, and I want you to be deep and low.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the young man right there is probably the one, I know, right? He's probably the one playing the music.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, come buy my wares, you know?
Yeah.
This bootleg. Hey, when you buy bootleg tapes back in the day from the flea market, though, Marvin, you get it and you put it in like this, and the writing just swipes right off. the white little writing, you knew it was a quality bootlegger if you didn't wipe it and the writing stayed on. That was a quality bootleg. I got a bootleg once. Side one was the same as side two.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they did that to you sometimes. You get side one and side two. Or a quality bootleg is when instead of the inside of the flap jacket wouldn't be just pure white, because usually it was just pure white on the inside, just only the cover.
Wow.
If it had something inside it, it's like, that's a quality bootleg.
You remember the Empower boxes, the energy to get your electricity, the Empower box, you pay as you go?
No.
You get this box installed, and then you go to the store, the Food City or Albertsons with the card.
Yeah.
You put your money in the machine, then you load the money onto the card.
Yeah.
Then you go home, stick it in the box, your power cuts on, and it tells you how much money and time you have on your power.
Really?
And when it beeps, you're about to run out of power. So I used to burn my CDs when it starts beeping. I used to burn my CDs and go down to the corner. Like, hey, man, whatever. Well, I'll take whatever for it.
Okay.
Make like $5, $20, $25.
To keep your power on?
I try to turn it into a bar, but I haven't found the right bar yet, you know? You know how in hip hop they used to use the street lights to hook up all the equipment?
Yeah.
I want to correlate something like that with energy and my music and but I don't want to force it, and it don't sound dope.
What he's trying to say is he wants to put that in his raps, but he can't figure out how to do it yet.
Word.
I don't know, because he said bar it up. I don't know. People are like, what are you about to,
okay.
How you pay his, but which is fine. But all right, here we go. The dude, that's such a classic still.
Yeah. Dang.
Oh, look, Harry O. Johnson says, we have those here in Yorkshire. So you're from the UK. Harry O, I've seen some clips of them. By the way, shout out listening all the way in the UK. We greatly appreciate that. You know what you deserve. You do a little Thank you, Harry. All right, let's play this clip, though, again. There's only 5 seconds left of this, I think.
Not your people, man. Some of these damn pocketbooks and tapes. Trying to play like they're your people, man. To make money off these niggas. They're a bunch of faggots. That's what they have to know.
Wait, did you hear what you said?
Play that again, because I'm looking at the disgust and the anger on this young man's face. And I'm just like vibing with his pain and frustrations right now, you know? And I kind of tuned dude out. But yeah, let's hear it again.
I was wrong. There's more than 5 seconds. I read it wrong. But he just said they're a bunch of F-A...
Oh, yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, like what? Man, imagine this being the you know, we understand. Like, so I'm a Reformed. I'm a Calvinist. I don't think John Calvin was perfect. But imagine the forerunners of your religion. Now, the forerunner of my religion ultimately is Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm just saying. But imagine the forerunners of your religion being these guys, like these being your Grandmaster Flashes. You know,
Melly Mel.
Yeah, this is your guys' Melly Mel.
Trying to play like they're your people, man. To make money off these niggas. They're a bunch of faggots. That's what they have to know. And when the Lord sanctions it, we're gonna put them to damn death.
And when the Lord sanctions it, we're gonna put them to damn death. This dude can't wait to kill Africans.
So this is definitely new for me because some of the stuff I tend to have seen, it was always typically against anyone not of the same skin color.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why it's a lot for me to take in right now, because my mind has to kind of adjust to seeing this and hearing it. Now I get when someone comes against them, but this dude is just chilling, and so this is like their doctrine. This is something they really. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Shout out to Mark Lawfrom. Looks like we got another person from the UK. This one from Birmingham, not Alabama, but UK. Big up your work. Thank you very much. You get the applause too. And someone is saying, how does he know he's African? So listen, they're out there teaching. They kind of know the lay of the land. They're in Queens, and I think they know these shop owners. You know, you kind of know, and once you talk to them, especially, you know what I'm saying? So I think he is right about that. You know, he's not guessing as far as that, but he's trying to create distance, and he's doing it in a crazy way. He just said, when the Lord sanctions it, we're going to kill him. Look how angry he is. It's like, man, this guy, it looks like a wrestling promo. And when the Lord sanctions it, I'm going to body slam.
You remember when Booker T messed up on live?
Why? I have another friend who thinks that's the funniest clip. Whenever he's depressed, he plays that clip to start laughing. And I didn't think it was that funny, but you think it's funny too, huh?
I could not believe it when I saw it. I was like, whoa.
I thought something like that would have happened sooner, to be honest. Man. You know, because once you get into that, you know, it is funny, but he and you, I think it's a lot funnier than I do. But all right, well, here we go.
And when the Lord sanctions it, we're going to put him to damn death. And we're going to put these other heathens to death, these damn Chinese. You should get together and shut them down. You should get together and shut these damn stores down.
I mean, what's he saying? I guess he's saying, like, shut down the bootleggers. Now, you know who might agree with this? Tupac. Have you ever seen that classic clip where Tupac confronts some bootleggers and he knocks over their stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Tupac might agree. On the bootleg angle, that's what I'm going. Right. I'm just trying to get some agreement here. My job is done here. He walks away.
Man. I hope he didn't stop that brother's money for the day.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe someone bought a courtesy. I'll buy that Cypress Hill courtesy. Buy.
Yeah, I really don't know who that is in the background. Did anyone ever say in the comments?
No one did. It sounds. Someone says it's step off. No, but that's Oh, you're talking about that's Grandmaster. They're talking about. Mel. I don't know who that is.
Give me the book of Ezekiel 9th chapter.
So there you go. Notice how they put One West in their title, so they were to address One West 125th Street. That's why we call them One Westers.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what that's from. So,
and it's a classic.
Yeah, that's the title they put. That's why I actually left that. It makes the video a little messy, but I wanted people to see that there's guys out there considering these are the greatest hits. So, what do you think? Think that's example, Marvin, of loving your neighbor?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you might have a point there. So, I mean, that's like one of your first experiences as far as this.
So it makes more sense, when you hear about some of them packing and carrying. It makes a little more sense if you're this aggressive. Yeah, you probably do got to watch your back at times, because that made me angry. Like I got a little angry here. Right. You know what I mean? I spent more time on this clip watching the young man's reaction to things, putting myself in his shoes and feeling how I would feel if somebody was out of line. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's one thing if Tupac or whoever's artist he's bootlegging came up and addressed the young man. That's different. They got some stake in the in the topic and in what's going on. But yeah, that's just a violation. I'm not too big on disrespect. I'm not too big on that.
I mean, they're kind of. It's a real shame because here, let me flip this over here. Against like immigrants, like against them, within the community. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like it's real. I mean, it's by definition really divisive. It's like real tragedy, man. So I got some other good ones we're gonna play, but I also got some images too. So we might get into some images as well. I got some pretty great images. It'd be interesting to get your reaction to some images here. But you have seen in your life, you've seen some guys on the corner for real here in Phoenix, like maybe once or twice.
Oh, yeah. Where was I at? I was on Apache and Hayden.
Oh, you're out east.
Yeah, this was a couple years ago, and a brother was out there. You know, he was shouting and talking. I was on the other side of the street, and we locked eyes. So naturally, what I've been doing all my life, when you and another brother lock eyes, you hit him with the, "What's up?"
Yeah, the upwards nod.
And he kept looking at me. He said, "Are you a in?"
Wait, what? That was his opening line?
I said, "Excuse me," because I didn't know it sounded aggressive, but we looked the same, so I didn't know. I said, "Hey," like 2 more rounds of that. "Are you a in?" Like he stopped and kind of flexed, you know, had a half cut off shirt. And,
what in the world?
Yeah, I said, I hit him with, I'm a black man, I'm a father, I'm a this, I'm a that.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh man, like get out of here, man." I almost walked across the street. I walked halfway across the street. You know, I said, "Come on." I said, "Man, why you got to talk to people like that? Like, just go on about." Like, "Man, get out of here, man." I said, "Man, put a shirt on. Like, you out here with your stuff hanging all out." He said, "This is a chest. This is a real man's chest." I said, "All right, you got it, homie."
This is a fascinating conversation.
I said, "You got it, homie."
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, that's so you had you could be African. It could be worse.
Man.
All right. So here's the next clip I'm going to play.
This is you.
This is.
You want to be an African? Go do this.
Yeah. Just a second. This one I'm about to play is when Charles Dow went on Jason Whit. Yeah, the pastor of Straightway. So this is a Hebrew Israelite church. And this is a reaction to his interview when he was on Jason Whitlock's program. He followed it up by being interviewed by the Hebrew Israelite. And there's some interesting stuff in this clip that Charles Dow says. I want you to hear.
No affiliation with this man whatsoever at all, but I am for truth.
So here he's going to be saying, he's talking about the Nation of Islam, and he's going to be promoting some Nation of Islam stuff that most people would consider anti-Semitic. But here, let's listen to this. I do have it sped up a little bit, so it's going to be kind of quick.
But y'all remember the minister Louis Farrakhan? You remember him? Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam set out to actually do a historical search and research of the transatlantic slave trade. And not only that, who really truly was in charge of all this stuff that has been going on, all these atrocities and stuff? Who has literally been the hand?
Notice he just said all these atrocities. So more than just the transatlantic slave trade.
What else?
I don't, maybe, who knows, the Holocaust itself. I don't know what else he doesn't offer specifics here, but this is anti-Semitic tropes where you basically lay a lot of the world's evils at the foot of Jewish people.
Okay.
And so this is important for Israelites to do because they use it to try to say those guys aren't the real Jews, we are. So it's a different tactic than with the Africans. It's to separate from being African, but you also have to separate the Jews away from their Jewishness.
Okay.
So that's what he's going to do here.
And behind the curtain, so to speak, that's been controlling all this stuff. And so they wrote a couple of books, and I have them right here. The secret relationship.
Hold on, Pastor. Let me put your screen up there because some is been. All right, there you go.
I have them right here. The secret relationship between the blacks and the Jews, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Nothing but truth is in here because every single bit of it is coming from their own sources, and they cannot deny it. Cannot deny it at all. And somebody will say, "Well, Pastor Dow, why are you reading that?" Because it's truth. Well, do you have any affiliation with Louis Farrakhan? Wow, are you trying to make me guilty by association when I don't have any association with him whatsoever at all? I purchased the book because I wanted to see what they had to say, see if I could find the resources and see if it's true. And it is true. Every single thing is written in here. And now they want to call you all types of names. And even if you don't call them nothing, they are going to tell everybody that's what you said, even though you said nothing, like Kyrie Irving and stuff. So when you're in a position to where you have no power, the people who have absolute power will corrupt everybody else because they're in a position of power to corrupt.
Okay. So did you follow that?
So those books that he had were written by?
So the Nation of Islam has a research division now, they would say.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And those are produced by them. I think primarily the work of a man named Wesley Muhammad.
Okay.
He's a current guy who is a bright guy.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that what Dow said is true, which I don't know if you caught it. He said every word written in here is true. Is that the Bible he's holding up? Mm-hmm. But those are both produced by the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And James G asks, is that an AR-15? The answer is yes. Dow's big on Second Amendment issues. He's big on that, and so part of what you get when you go to Straightway is weapons training. And by the way, I'm not joking. That's part of what you're taught as well. So yeah, those are written by the Nation of Islam, and it's basically saying that Jewish people have had it out for black people, and here's the evidence. So that's what he's saying there. Have you ever done much with Nation of Islam?
No.
Were they ever very prominent on the South Side?
Yes, I heard about. I feel, and I don't want to misquote. I really feel like in my younger years, I feel like Farrakhan, and someone could probably correct me if you got South Phoenix ties or if you just are educated on it. I feel like they had a home in South Phoenix, or there was a home or something.
There's a Nation of Islam mosque in South Phoenix, number one.
Okay.
Number two, you're talking about Farrakhan's second home on Violet.
I stayed on 12th Street in Southern.
So this is, you know where Violet is? It's right off of Violet.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
just south of it there. Okay. Right over there. There's like a convenience store that's got like graffiti all over it now. And if you go, it's like got on the street it says it's NOI and stuff like that, and it's got the crescent moon and things.
Right.
Yeah, it is over there, so they do have a presence.
Yeah, not much interaction that I'm aware of.
All right, well, let's do some interaction with some more clips from Dow. What do you think of Dow versus the other guy?
And that's what I was going to ask. Have you seen much of Dow? Is he as, for lack of a better word, aggressive as the previous dude we've seen as far as interacting with people?
They don't do street teaching.
Okay, so anybody who's at his earshot chose to be in his earshot. So
yes, and he actually probably would bring that up. In fact, he has a community in rural Tennessee.
Oh wow!
And you can go to choose to live there, and it's kind of communal living.
Okay.
And guys drive pickup trucks, and so they're different than the stereotype a lot of people have of Israelites, and a lot of former NFL players are associated with them.
So there's a lot of is the word sect? There's a lot of different sects.
Yes.
And okay.
Shout out to Doki Doki Bible Club for gifting the channel memberships, by the way. All right, so we're gonna go to this next clip here.
Actually, no affiliation with this man whatsoever at all, but I am for truth. Y'all remember the minister Louis Farrakhan? You remember him?
Well,
Louis Farrakhan
respect him, and the nation, not just going at people, you know.
He's a little better.
And actually practicing what the book says. All of a sudden, these demonically in charge and infused people have issue and trouble, and they act.
So here he's actually talking about primarily me and other Christian apologists. When he's basically going to say that if you oppose them, it's because it's the devil. So I wanted to play that 30-second clip. Check this out.
And actually practicing what the book says. All of a sudden, these demonically in charge and infused people have issue and trouble, and they act like, and they levy charges against us and say, well, we think we're better than everybody else. No, it's not that we're better than everybody else. We're better than everybody else because the book says we're better than everybody else. Yah says that we're better than everybody else. That's why he chose us as a nation. And when he chose us as a nation to make sure that we are the ones that is the call of Yah, he made sure that he has washed us with his blood, filled us with his Holy Spirit, and the difference between.
So are they better than everyone else, Marvin, or are they not better than everyone else?
We're all God's children.
But I'm saying what he's saying. Is he saying they are or they aren't?
Sound like he said they. Let's do that again. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not because you have this sped up, right?
Yeah, but it's funny.
He's spitting, man. He's flowing.
It's just funny because he's like, no, we don't think we're better. The Bible says we're better. Okay. By we, he means Israelites.
Yeah.
And levy charges against us and say, well, we think we're better than everybody else. No, it's not that we're better than everybody else. We're better than everybody else because the book says we're better than everybody else.
So if you believe it and receive it, then you think you're better than everyone else.
Right, but partially also it's the bloodline of being an Israelite. Because you're called to special privileges that other people aren't called to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, what are some of those privileges? What are two or three of them?
Well, you are the one given the law. You're the one that is supposed to keep the covenant. You're the one that God has chosen to, in some way, have authority and leadership in the final days. You're the one who's been the keeper of the Bible. You're the one who's supposed to teach the other nations the truth.
You know, someone that's on the outside, if someone like had no type of upbringing in spirituality or religion, when you hear, all sound the same to someone who doesn't, you know, who wasn't raised in church or isn't tapped into the Bible or anything like that. It might all sound the same, and it just has my mind kind of wondering, like, man, wow, like, am I grouped with someone that I think drastically different than, you know?
Well, one day you might be when they come knocking on doors with people with Bibles. I don't know. But here, let's play another clip of Dow, because I think you like these a little bit better. I think you're able to handle these a little bit more than the one West teacher on Jamaica Avenue, right?
Some pleasant, some
levy charges against us and say, well, we think we're better than everybody else. No, it's not that we're.
It's not that we think we're better. It's the Bible says we're
Count
better.
people. Is it about women getting murdered and guns being pulled on them and carrying on? Because when you made that one statement, I'm sitting there thinking, you mean to tell?
So here he's going to be talking about another Hebrew Israelite camp that has had some legal trouble, and he's basically saying, like, you know, look at all the problems they're having. You know, we don't have those problems in our organization. That's what he's going to be kind of saying here. But go ahead. What are you about to say?
So, quick question: does he read the King James? Like, what Bible? I mean, you know, do we have the same Bible? Are we reading from the same Bible?
So each group is different here, but this particular group is King James.
Okay.
They are, but I'm just doing this to fix this real quick.
Yeah.
This particular group is a King James only version group.
Okay.
But there's some that are, you know, different in that. But that is their thing. So they are reading the same Bible, but they would say Christians don't believe the Bible.
Count people.
They don't actually do it.
About women getting murdered and guns being pulled on them and carrying on. Because when you made that one statement, I'm sitting there thinking, you mean to tell me that a transvestite or something got shot by one of these camp people? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So what the story was the person in I guess in IUIC, this happened in Gainesville, Florida. I guess they were dating them, or I guess it got tricked or something. And you know the way these transformers are, they'll get in a relationship with somebody and then be like, I'm really a man, and then piss him off. I think that's what happened, and he shot him.
Hey, see, this is the problem we're talking. See, this is the issue. The reason why I asked that question, because where did this dating concept come from? It's not Hebraic. We don't read that in the whole of Scripture.
So there, what he's talking about is IUIC. That's the purple and gold guys, Marvin. They had a situation where one of the guys who was affiliated with them, I think he had been put out at the camp at that time, but he basically was still like considered to be an IUIC by other people. He wore the shirt and stuff. He was involved in some way with a person who came later to be known as not what they were. I'll just say that. And ended up shooting them in the face as a reprisal, and it made the news and stuff. And so it was a way to basically kind of diss some of the other camps, other Hebrew Israelite groups. Michael Israel was bringing up that thing, and Dow didn't know about that. So Dow was hearing about it for the first time, and he's like, whoa. And so Michael Israel was immediately dishing the dirt on IUIC. And the reason they did that is because someone from the live chat came in from IUIC disagreeing with them. Okay. So here was their response.
Count people. Is it about women getting murdered and guns being pulled on them and carrying on? Because when you made that one statement, I'm sitting there thinking, you mean to tell me that a transvestite or something got shot by one of these camp people? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So what the story was the person in I guess in IUIC, this happened in Gainesville, Florida. I guess they were dating them, or I guess it got tricked or something. And you know the way these transformers are, they'll get in a relationship with somebody and then be like, I'm really a man.
It's kind of funny. Hey, shout out to the super chatters. Larry Love in the house, hitting us off with some major love. Thank you very much, Larry Love. We got some very supportive people here today. We got Doki Doki Bible Club gifting the channel memberships. Be sure you like this video and make sure you share it and comment. So let's listen. So now he's commenting on this. But look at the way these Hebrew Israelite groups kind of throw dirt on each other, a lot of them. I mean, imagine if two pastors were talking trash about each other at this level.
Hey, that happens.
It probably does happen.
It happens. I mean,
Why you got to bring that up?
oh, all right.
I'm just kidding. I mean, but you see how it looks. See how it looks when you do that. So
And it piss him off. I think that's what happened, and he shot him.
Hey, see, this is the problem with topic. We don't read that in the whole of Scripture.
So he's using it as a chance to talk about, like, you know, this dating concept is a Western thing that's not really for our people. Basically, is what he's going at with that.
What is he suggesting?
Like a courting process. So in some, and he kind of has a point, and here he's going to continue on that point. This is very interesting. This 20 seconds.
So he's about to explain the difference.
No, on this he's just showing. In this clip, he's going to kind of show some of the dangers or ills of dating, basically. And there's a famous book within evangelical circles called "I Kissed Dating Goodbye."
Because what am I missing? I mean, don't you kind of got to date, or maybe that word "date" is going to mean different things to different people?
It's almost like there's a biblical notion that maybe people would describe more as courting versus a modern notion of dating. And courting, for example, would have more of the family directly involved.
Okay.
It would involve more planned group activities and times of open conversation with the person courting the daughter with the father and together. So I'm not really disagreeing with what he's saying there as far as some critiques of this idea of like,
that'd be fire. That'd be dope.
Right, you know, you go out over here by yourself and you have dinner and a movie, or you go to a club and you're putting your best face on and that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Or, you know, or even, you know, worse, like a simple hookup culture, you know, hey, Netflix and chill, ? He's railing against that kind of stuff because he's basically saying this situation with IUIC having a member shooting the person in the face wouldn't have.
You're out there dating and not courting.
Yeah, so he
properly brought it upon yourself.
Right, so that's part of what he's saying there.
Marriage. And the only way you could actually find out if it was a transvestite if it was doing something that they shouldn't have lawfully been doing anyway. I mean, I could understand if he went out, he'd been better off if he went out and just got a prostitute.
Now, I'm a little confused on that part because what he follows it up with, it says, well, at least there's laws for that. What he's basically saying, my understanding, because it's kind of a cryptic comment, is, well, prostitution is regulated in the Bible, and that could be considered legal or lawful, but not dating. I don't know exactly what he's saying there. I wish he would clarify. It's a little confusing, right?
Yeah, because I think then when you start talking about the prostitution, I mean, you're kind of right back into you're kind of right back to being out of line and putting yourself at risk of. It would
seem like it. So I was a little confused. Like, he's like, I could understand if you got a prostitute. What? Why could you understand that? Wait, is that better than dating?
It's not. Maybe he's talking about you wouldn't end up murdering somebody.
Well, I mean, I hear about people murdering prostitutes all the time, though. I don't know what's going on here. But this is Pastor Charles Dow of Straightway Truth Ministries outside of, in a rural place in Tennessee. I think it's outside of Knoxville, maybe. And he makes this is all on the heels of this guy throwing IUIC under the bus, Michael Israel, because of that situation that happened.
I can understand if he went out, he'd been better off if he went out and just got a prostitute. At least there's laws for that. If you're
Pastor Dow's advice to you: how not to shoot transvestites, get prostitutes instead. Amen, Pastor.
Son, if you're still listening, cut it off.
Yeah, my bad.
Cut it off, son. I love you. Thanks for the shout out. Cut it off. You know what I mean? You're good. No, keep doing what you're doing.
But so, see, this is the difference. See, our women, our sisters, our Ishayas, our Ish, when they are...
Why are you laughing, man?
Because you're my brother, and it's good times. Okay. Thanks for having me here, bro. It's good. Oh, yeah. It's good, man. It's good.
Tell people about your newest project you got coming out, Solidarity.
So Solidarity is a project where I got a lot of artists from mostly from Arizona. Got someone from Kachastan on there, and the whole goal was to put together a project of clean music, meaning, you know, not being vulgar, you know, promoting positivity, showing rhyme skills without having to, you know, go over the edge and, you know, ride up on somebody or this and that. And you know what I mean? Something to keep it clean. But solidarity is just one of many. There's Bible with a beam. that I got going on. That project is about me trying to change my flow a little bit and pick a different type of beats that are more in right now, because as I get older, as I age in this hip hop thing, 50 years, it's like, man, I thought about hanging it up a couple times, you know? Excuse me. I thought about hanging it up a couple times, and someone told me, my brother's friend, Scooter, told me, he said, man, when you think about it, hip hop is only about 50 years old. It's not even that old, so quit tripping, man. Keep rhyming. And I was like, you know what? So I kind of used that to be like, let me try some different areas. Then I got Melchizedek, where it's a little more melodic, produced by Dark Speech. Cardo, what's up? And
okay. Shout out to Dark Speech in the house. We all know and love Dark Speech.
Got some vocalists on there. What I've been experimenting with lately is writing hooks and songs for vocalists. Like this last year, there's just been a lot of just singing lyrics and melodies that have just been coming to me out of nowhere. And it's like, I rap. What am I doing writing these songs? And got an upcoming project called Minister of Music, where I'm not even going to be on it rapping. It's just all songs that I have vocalists singing, and I'm real excited for that. I'm real excited for that. I'm just, doing different things with it, but yeah.
Everyone check out Marvin, Sumter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And my last time I got in the studio and recorded was with this gentleman right here.
We got more to come.
Yes, we do.
We got more to come. Millennium Vintage.
That's right.
Vocab Malone, Marvin Jr., DJ Pre 1. Millennium Vintage. That's going to be great. I could actually stop after that, but I won't. But I could actually stop after that project is completed. Okay. I can't wait for that one, man.
All right.
Vocab Malone showed me how to hold the microphone properly. He told me, quit walking around here before the show listening to everybody rap. We're the main event. There's got to be some wow when they see us pop out. I was like, all right, let's go in the back then.
Oh, I was trying to teach you showmanship.
Yeah, I'm out there trying to let me say what's up to all the opening acts and showing I'm listening. He's like, come over here, young man.
My bad, bro. I was teaching you elitism.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
That's great times.
Nah, I remember when we first jumped on stage with you. You had that fro.
Yeah, it ain't happening no more. That fro's gone.
That was something else, man.
Yeah. Where were we at when Soup the Chemist came? Do you remember where that was?
So the show I was talking about just now was at 35th Avenue in Virginia. The Soup the Chemist show, I think, was over there at the Tempe Exchange.
Okay.
Was that the one with John Rubin and him? Both?
Yeah, Rubin were on stage together. Y'all switched mics and stopped and got the mic. He said, yeah.
That was off of Ash Avenue over there off of Mill. That place is now a Chabad Jewish outreach center, but it used to be a Foursquare church, and we used to do events there. Yeah, that was dope. Remember he did that song called Photographs, and he was like, acting like he had a camera.
Yeah, I wish someone had videos of that, man. That was great.
For real, man.
I wish I would have spoke to him a little bit more, but I was kind of like, oh man, I don't want to be all up in his face.
Soup the Chemist. Shout out to Soup the Chemist. I don't know if you know, but he did an endorsement for my last book. If you look on the front cover, I'll show it to you when we're done.
What do you mean? What does an endorsement mean?
It's like, this is a good book. This guy did a good job. I love this guy type of thing. He endorsed my last book. So speaking of rap, let's play a rap song. I'll let you analyze more the content. We're not here to really talk about his bars per se. We're going to try to analyze the content. Now, there's a lot of dope Hebrew Israelite rap. This one, though, to be fair, I believe is created for children. Okay, so we're trying to judge it on its own merit. But really what we're trying to look at is the content of what he's saying here. So this is actually done with a puppet.
Marriage. And the only way you can actually find out if it was a transvestite, they were doing something that they shouldn't have lawfully been doing.
So we're going to get out of that kind of content.
I can understand if he went out,
play
even
this,
better off, he went out and just got a prostitute.
12 Tribes Chart Rap.
So you want to know who the 12 tribes of Israel are today? Yes, I do. You listen close to the song and make sure you press replay.
All right.
The first thing we'll talk about is the tribe that we call Judah.
That's me.
Today they are the American blacks, and they can get much cooler.
Say what?
Next is the brothers Simeon and Levi.
I know.
The Haitians, Dominicans, they live on the same small island.
Real small.
So, see that chart in front of you up there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it while he's going.
Yeah. So he's rapping the 12 Tribes chart.
Yeah.
And so he's explaining that. Now, the thing is, this thing didn't even exist until the 70s,
Okay.
this chart.
So one thing I noticed, he has Simeon and Levi, but up there, Levi and Simeon are not together. Does that mean anything?
That's what's interesting. So Simeon are the Dominicans. But see, the Dominican Republic is on an island called Hispaniola, which is where Columbus landed. Hispaniola is divided between Haiti and DR. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one island. So what's interesting is he's got literally people who are supposed to be descended from Simeon on one side of the island, and on the other side, people who are supposed to be descended of Levi. It actually doesn't make sense. How is it that the border demarcates between these two folks?
Okay.
This is a kind of a modern border too. Hispaniola didn't always have this border.
Yeah.
So it's bizarre, but I mean, now you got guys doing children reps to it because they're believing it. Here we go.
American blacks, and they can't get much cooler.
So even though that sounds like just a throwaway rhyme to say they can't get much cooler, they believe the salt of the earth passages Jesus says refers to them.
And you think that's what he was going for?
Yeah, he's not just throwing away a line. It has to do with we're the salt of the earth because we bring the flavor.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
So like they'll be like, you know, who excels in sports, who excels in music, who excels. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The salt of the earth.
Next is the brothers Simeon and Levi. I know. The Haitians, Dominicans, they live on the same small island. Real small.
Real small. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Real small.
The hype man.
I like his emotions. Same small owl. Real small.
With the what is it called? The pedal. What's that thing called right here? Widow's Peak.
Oh, he got a widow's peak. Yeah, like Eddie Munster. He got that widow's peak. Yeah.
Then we have the Ephraimites, and that means fruitful bow. What? So down they are the Puerto Ricans, just letting you know.
Now that was a throwaway line.
So what he said, they're the fruits for bowl.
So Ephraim, the actual tribe named Ephraim, which if you understand Ephraim, it's a half a tribe because Joseph had two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. So Ephraim is half and Manasseh is the other half. So it's kind of like the tribe of Joseph is Ephraim and Manasseh. Anyways, Ephraim in Hebrew, I guess, means fruitful bow. And they actually... Okay. But let me tell you. So they use evidence that Puerto Ricans are Ephraim. Could you guess how they prove it? It has to do with the fruitful bow thing.
I don't want to guess.
The Puerto Ricans have a lot of kids.
Okay, yeah, I figured. I did not want to guess.
So that's actually evidence for them is the Ephraim because Puerto Ricans don't have a lot of kids. For real. Okay, so here we go.
The Ephraimites, and that means fruitful bow. What? So down they are the Puerto Ricans, just letting you know. So your mom and pop took a boat ride from Caribbean. Sure did. You may think West Indies, but I said yo Benjamin. Yeah. Oh.
So notice what he said there about boat ride. Here's something that's interesting. How is it that when people were snatched off the continent of Africa, that somehow it worked out that all the Benjamites got off in Jamaica? Because that's West Indies. And also this charge doesn't make sense because Puerto Rico is also in the West Indies.
I think it is amazing that you have the 12 tribes chart up. Like, I've looked at it a few times in here, but it is just really hitting me. I was like, wait a minute. He has the tribes up here.
Well, if you had to guess, how do you think I got that? Just take a guess.
They gave it to you. They say, here, take this home and you study it, brother Vocab.
Well, you think a Hebrew Israelite would do that to me? They don't like me that much. You're getting close, though, but it wasn't a current member. Brother came out, ex-Hebrew Israelite, left IUIC. He gave me that chart.
Okay.
That is from IUIC.
Okay.
But it's from an ex-member who said, I don't have any more use of this, Brother Vocab.
And what was your thinking when you took it? Like, what were you...
Oh, it was a little different. I was begging him for everything he had. I said, bro, do you got any more garments?
Nice.
I was trying to get everything. He gave me everything he could.
Why you want the garments?
To study. I ain't going to try to wear them or nothing. Just to, like, point out things for educational purposes. Kind of like we're doing here today.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the more that you have material things, you can kind of say, look at this, look at that, you know.
You may think
So did.
Hey, look,
What's up?
we've heard this in the booth before, haven't we?
I can't hear anything. You playing something?
No. DJ Cree 1, turn Marvin up.
Oh, no doubt. Yo.
Here, you're going to have to get, let me turn myself down and balance it out. So what about,
Microphone check 1, 2. What is this?
is the 12 Tribes, Street of Pauses Live.
What up, DJ Cree?
DJ Cree,
My hero.
that's right. Cree, are we
Turn
more,
me up in the headphones, Pop.
see, that's what I was saying, exactly. Cree, are we more even now? Here we go.
Indies book, I said, yo, Benjamin. Argentina, Chile, all the places I like to be. Me too. Chilling on the shore.
You gotta give me that one again. Naphtali.
Nah,
What's the correct pronunciation?
I think it's just Naphtali,
Naphtali.
but he's like sounding it out.
Trying to make it land on beat or around the beat.
Here, let me try one thing with the mic here. Speak again.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes,
yeah,
yes,
it's not
yes,
that
yes.
one. And one more time.
Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Party people in the place to be.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah.
Okay, they said you're turned up, I think. But no, the audio is coming from the mics.
They're gonna be like, turn them down. Turn them down.
Here, let me. What about now, everybody? I'm trying to
Yo.
work on the sound settings here.
He sure is. Sure is.
See, now you get it. Hey, you know what that reminds me of? Hard to find.
Hard to find.
MC's like
Kilgore.
hard to find. Some of y'all don't know what's going on. This is our previous our life. Well, actually, he's still in it. But all right, let's continue on.
Still in it too. You an MC.
Barely.
Finna go out with a bang. Millennium Vintage, y'all.
See, I'm tapping my mic. Nate, is it better on this side? No, it's better on this side. See, I tap my mic. Tap your mic real quick, bro. See? Why y'all hating? Okay, let me turn down the video. Maybe that's the key. The video is too loud. I'm going to turn down the video. Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate it, actually. It's like his mic's not on. What could I be doing?
Looks like my mic's not on.
That's weird because I hear you so good, right?
I hear me. Now I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been hearing me in my head all my life. I've been hearing me.
Let me see. Oh, okay. I got one other thing I can do. Okay, try again, Marvin.
Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2.
I feel like I got him really loud now. All right, here, let's play this again. Come on, y'all.
Argentina, Chile, all the places I like to be. Me too. Chilling on the shores with my people, Naphtali.
Now, notice he said, those are the places I like to be. And then he said, me too. That means when he travels to those places, he takes that puppet. You see what I'm saying?
Let's take a trip to Mexico to show the people who they are. Okay. Bring some Spanish flyers, cause we're waking up Issachar. Wake 'em up.
Bring some Spanish. Oh, I'm super loud.
Well, they're complaining, so I was trying to fix it.
So you guys haven't been able to hear me through this whole thing? Like, y'all not making out what I'm saying?
They're just saying you're low, but I don't know because you sound great to me.
Well, thank you.
But so now they believe that if you're Mexican, you're of Issachar. And he's saying, bring some Spanish fire because I'm waking them up. What is Spanish fire? I don't know what Spanish fire is. I don't know what that is. So I don't have the answer for that. But let's see here.
Let's take a trip to Mexico to show the people who they are. Okay. Bring some Spanish flyers, cause we're waking up Issachar. Wake 'em up. Then we'll fly to Cuba where the skies ain't so good. People didn't know. Listen from around that way.
Nate, I just figured out the problem. What you just said was right. Nate, we should sound good now. I bet it sounds totally different now than the way it sounded earlier. It was coming through the webcam. It was wrong. Okay. Now you got it. Okay. It should be better now. So he's just running down the other other tribes here. Now, so Manasseh are Cubans.
Let's head back to America to a small poor reservation.
Okay, let's do it.
They're teaching up those guys that they call Native Indians.
Yes,
Visit down to Florida where the Seminoles have kin.
Yeah.
Give to them the history that they descend from Reuben.
Now, do you know what the Seminoles are?
No.
Well, you know Florida State's
Right.
What is Florida State's mascot?
The Seminole.
Right. And have you ever seen the logo on the helmet?
Yes.
What's it look like?
Isn't it like a arrow with the arrow on it?
Usually it's like a picture of like a Native American, maybe. So I think sometimes they'll have that.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I ask you that is, do you remember who he said Gad was?
He said they're Native Americans.
Right.
That's always been a question of mine, is with the Seminoles and then Native American Indians. Is it once? I don't know.
How are they separated out from each other? That's exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Why are they separated out? Because Seminoles would be North American Indians, and yet they're not of Gad, they're of Reuben. That doesn't make sense. The tribe chart doesn't make sense, bro.
Okay. Have you heard anything that gave you like some good reasoning behind it? Like, what's the best reasoning or logic you've heard behind it?
I heard an apologist who had done some research and believes that Ariyah has family from Florida.
Who's Ariyah?
Ariyah is the inventor of the 12 tribes chart. So that reasoning would be he was partial to the Seminoles because he's from Florida, so he gave them their own tribe. That's the best reason I've ever heard, bro. I'm not joking about it.
No, I hear you.
That way, let's head back to America to a small poor reservation.
Okay, let's do it.
They're teaching up those guys that they call Native Indians. Visit down to Florida where the Seminoles have kin.
Yeah.
Give to them the history that they descend from Reuben. And maybe take a ride from Colombia to Uruguay.
Oh, yeah.
The food of them Asherites will make you want to stay.
To Uruguay?
Yeah. So and if you notice,
that's not there.
If you notice, Marvin, you got Judah says American blacks on there, but on Asher it says Colombia to Uruguay. Notice how it switches from people groups to geographical locations. Tribe is not even consistent in itself, and it's like everybody in Colombia is Asher.
Wow.
And you know what's weird? Panama used to be part of Colombia until the early 1900s when America wanted to do the Panama Canal. And so now Panama is separate. Well, guess what? Panama's of Zebulon. So if this was written in the 1800s, you'd had to put, I guess, them in Colombia. The tribe chart's got a lot of problems, bro.
Man.
But the song's cool.
Then finally to Zebulon where all those big ships come.
Big boats.
The people smack dab in the middle from Central America.
Say what?
So now you should know who the 12 tribes are today.
Sure do.
And if you don't feel bad, go ahead and press replay.
Let's get it.
All right, little man. What I want you to do right now is I want you to name all 12 tribes of Israel. Can you do that?
The puppet's about to spit, bro.
He sure can.
He sure is.
Let me hear it.
Zebulon, Judah, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Benjamin, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar, Asher, Gad. Zebulon, Judah, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Benjamin, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar, Asher, Gad. Zebulon, Judah, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Benjamin, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar, Asher, Gad.
Now I know the record's about to end. So we gonna play until it goes.
He's getting his Stevie Wonder on, bro. Yeah, you saw that?
Question.
Wow, what's up? Were you going to ask about his belt?
Is he...
Just kidding, bro.
Wow.
I'm just kidding, man.
Is he doing the puppet's voice?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
I don't know whose hand is up the puppet's butt, but I imagine probably.
Okay.
Big boats.
I
like big boats that I cannot say.
Little boat, little yachty. But hey, I respect the hip hop aspect of it. It gave me that Chicago Bears.
No swearing. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Right?
The Chicago Bears, the
shuffle,
Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah. We're not here to cause no trouble.
We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
So if you don't like the tune, you can turn the record
Do we know
off.
this guy's name?
It won't
No.
cost you nothing, not a penny, but you'll end the song. I know I cannot rhyme, cause I ain't like a pie. And I'm
what?
here.
He's just scatting there. Hey, look, PJ Williams. Now I know my 12 tribes. Next time, won't you sing with me? I mean, I like the brother's spirit. He actually seems like he'd be a heck of a cool guy. So I'm not even banging on this. It's more to bang a little bit on 12 tribes chart.
Oh, definitely.
I'm not even tripping. I get what this is designed for. I'm not even tripping. It is kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Big boats.
Yeah.
All right, Marvin, Sumter, give us a little feedback on that.
Well, I mean, that was it. I respect the artistry. I respect the creativity, the humor in it. You know, and like I said, I'm here to kind of learn some of these things, what's going on, and I do not subscribe to the tribes, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. Shout outs to the puppet. Shout outs to the puppet,
Big
yo.
boats, real smooth, sure do. So do I. So you know what's interesting about this is what you got?
Do you feel there's any truth, like, to the tribes, to how they came up with it? Do you think there's any truth, a little bit of truth, or
No,
okay,
no.
okay,
It is a piece of historical fiction.
okay,
So I mean, even the way it was devised was that Arya said that he received it from the Lord when he was laid up, when he got injured at his job. He got injured at his job on construction, and the Lord gave it to him. And what the members say at the time is that then they went and did the research and confirmed that what the Lord had given him was true.
they did the research and confirmed it
After the chart was given. And so D-New is making a good point, you know, is that by that reckoning, Paul was a Jamaican. And the funny thing is, we actually heard a member of ISUPK say that in real time. Larry Love says, Vocab, where did you get that brim from, brother? This is a beautiful clothes company called Faithful. Look up Faithful Co. or Faithful Apparel. They sent this to me to sponsor them, you know, to give, and so I need to give them more love. It actually has got the little, I don't know how it's puffed out, not embossed, but I don't know how to say it. It's got like, it's cool, you know. This is a dope hat. You should get some of this stuff. Look up Faithful Apparel to be able to find it, you know. So shout out to Larry Love and for the super chat.
Larry Love.
So this next one's going to be a little hard, I think. This one's about ravishing women. So someone look up the definition of ravish, and I dropped those on the live chat. This will be interesting. This is another older clip. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So you want to know who the 12 tribes of Israel are today? Yes, I do.
Those familiar with GMS know that one of their more vile and unpopular teachings is the rape doctrine.
Oh, okay.
So there is something called the rape doctrine, and a camp called GMS teaches it. Figure it out. So you haven't seen this before. I hope this doesn't get this video taken down. I'm gonna
wait. Why would it? Because of the topic,
the stuff they're saying and things like that. This is polite catching GMS on the street. So here we go. This is for you, Marvin. Just for you.
Which we teach now is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. Well, let me say.
So he's saying that's in the Bible, by the way. I don't know if you caught that.
Do you know where he's saying that at? Off top?
Yes, it's a passage that has to do with punishments and rules and regulations that you give when a rape does happen in Israel. And so they interpret one of those places as an allowance or almost encouragement in certain instances of rape. That's what they're trying to say there.
Based off of the punishment.
Because in certain instances, the person who is raped in the Old Testament law can decide, if the father agrees and the person has to pay a price, to marry the person who raped them, because now they're despoiled in their virginity. So it's a way to force the rapist to have to take responsibility for them, because now they don't make a good wife in that culture because of that.
So the father gets involved with the man and the woman.
He could become his son-in-law.
So the family's now involved in this decision of courting.
No, because he had already committed this is a little different. Good callback. He had already committed the act, and so in that instance, now it doesn't say that the woman is forced to marry them, and it's not encouragement for rape, because in certain sections in the Bible, and other ones, you have it where the punishment is death for the rapist. So this is a way to force responsibility. There's no Social Security. There's none of that. So it's a way that if you do this, you're also responsible for the woman.
Okay, well.
So like Khan in Christ mentions, hey, thank you for bringing that up. This is what I mentioned. So this is in the Bible. They're interpreting a certain way. Unless she's betrothed, then it's a death penalty. So if the person's married or going to be married and they do it, then it's death penalty. So this is to an unmarried virgin. And just so you know, this is GMS, not hardly any of the Hebrew Israelites teach this.
Okay.
But here's what's interesting. This clip is going to show that it does go back to the original old school, even though most camps have distanced themselves from it. So here we go.
Which we teach now is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. Well, let me say this. Let me say this.
Lord didn't have a problem with men raping.
So that was Tahar. He's the leader of GMS. This is Polite. He's big in the conscious community.
Okay, and I was going to ask, what is Brother Polite's? I know I've seen him. I know I've heard him. What is his spiritual belief system, or, what have you?
He says now that he's an advisor to the stars. So he's kind of transitioned into a mainstream role. But he used to be all about like black economics and things like that, and what you'd say black empowerment. And apparently at one time claimed to be the reincarnation of a pharaoh, but he's backed off of that. His big thing is black woman is God, so he's always got multiple women around him, and does little stunts like we'll show him in the bar grabbing two women's posterior and doing things like setting drinks on their rear and saying, he's saying that's conscious spirituality and awareness, and he attacks Christianity and the Hebrew Israelites. And here's a time where I agree with D. New. We co-sign this particular dialogue. The Lord used him to expose wicked doctrine. But what's interesting is he is up on charges that actually involve the accusation being he actually did this in real life to somebody. Polite, the one doing the exposing, the charges he did this to a 14-year-old. That's what's so wild about this dialogue now.
Quick question. How does one back off of claiming to be a reincarnated pharaoh?
Just you kind of stop making the claim type of thing as you kind of go mainstream. So he's went a little mainstream, but these charges are kind of hurting that success he's had.
A 12-year-old or any woman that they saw on sight.
So this is why, Marvin, you've known me. I've been into Christian hip hop and stuff. I haven't my whole life been like standing against, the religious beliefs of Hebrew Israelites. But one of the reasons is because not just this particular thing, but it's like, you have people who are saying these kinds of doctrines come from the Bible, like the hatred, the anti-African, and so that is disturbing and a problem. This, by the way, is a Rhyme Lob. He's another leader of GMS. So you got a lot of the classic GMS guys here. So, I mean, he's like shocked, like, what? But to him, he thinks it's a great way to destroy the Bible. He's not just after Israelism. He has a stunt online where he literally shot a Bible, with a gun.
So do you hear stuff of these GMS actually going out and doing this? Is there a reason they're not just doing that?
And so when they see this clip, they're going to say Vocab's a slanderer. When did someone from GMS ever rape anyone? So what they're saying is in the kingdom, there will be allowance under certain circumstances for this, but not that you're to do it now.
Oh, okay. I just said, oh, okay. That is, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
that's a 12-year-old or any woman that they saw on sight. That when you see one of each other's daughters, you just grab her up. You're gonna tell one of these brothers here, "Come on, you know the doctrine. You know
Polite
how
ever rhyme? Was he ever an MC?
That's a funny question. He seems like he could be.
He seemed
right?
like he seemed like he could get it.
I actually agree that he is New York is all get out, and he's very quick on his feet.
Yeah.
He is gifted, no doubt about that. And that man right there, I believe, is Rakah, but not Rakah from GOCC, everybody. This is Rakah from GMS. He's one who told me one time that I could go jump off the George Washington Bridge.
Well, answer it.
We just told you that
how would y'all respond?
In this time,
we're not gonna let that happen.
We're not going to let that happen in this time. So they're trying to parse it out.
Were y'all in the vicinity of the George Washington Bridge, or
No.
was it just a random?
It was a video where he did it, where he's responding to me. I wasn't at the George Washington Bridge.
Was he near the George Washington Bridge?
He's from that area of the country, so it may be the closest bridge.
Okay, all right.
But I wouldn't have any access to be able to jump off the George Washington Bridge. I'd have to fly all the way to the East Coast just to jump it off.
We got bridges there.
Yeah, what bridge would be a good bridge to jump off?
The Tempe Town Lake.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Not now. The Super Bowl's here.
Yeah.
When all that dies down,
hey, we're
get a splash.
once the Super Bowl's passed, I'm gonna go jump off the Tempe Town Lake.
Did happen, but if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
Wow.
In the kingdom, we're gonna do that, man. We're gonna get them young.
Wow.
So it's not just you can rape; it's also this can happen very young, as soon as they have their first period.
Oh man,
Just so you
that
know,
That hurts.
most Hebrew Israelites would disagree with this teaching. GMS is one of the few camps that sticks with this. I'm just being clear.
Good.
You know.
And I like how you do that. You're very clear, and you'll let it be known, like, hey, this isn't all. This is certain camps. I think that's very, very good and respectful to let it,
I do try. Cree asked, did he suggest any alternate bridges? Sorry, Cree. No alternate bridges were given in sight. It's George Washington Bridge or bust.
But if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
In the kingdom, we're going to do that, man. We're going to get them young.
But let's see the basis for the deplorable doctrine Taha and GMS would later make infamous.
So here, I'm going to stop in here.
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain this to the audience real quick, and I know you're here, Marvin. Even though most One West descended groups have now distanced themselves from this kind of teaching, IUIC, Sakari, obviously GOCC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they sometimes seem to act to us as if it was never part of the doctrine. But what's interesting is it goes back, it appears, to the original school that's the fountainhead of all these different sects, the actual One West 125th Street school, because we're going to show a clip here from the old school in which they talk about ravishing women, which is basically the KJV way to say doing the same thing. But we're making the point, though, even though they've distanced themselves from it, the roots are, GMS in a way is being more true to the roots.
But there's one thing, Whitey, you forgot.
This is Mashah. Mashah was designated as being King David reincarnated. And I think what he says here in this clip is, there's one thing, Whitey, you forgot. So listen to Mashah, one of the 7 heads of the old One West school.
But there's one thing, Whitey, you forgot. There's payback. We're going to put your butt in the cotton field.
There's one thing, Whitey, you forgot. There's payback. We're going to put your butt in the cotton field. So slavery is not wrong. It's just who's doing it. Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of the implication here.
We're going to take your women and we're going to ravish them. What you going to do then?
Take your women and what you got to do?
What you going to do then?
So here,
what you going to do about it?
Israel, Kahal of Ansoff says, ravishing, an objective, delightful, entrancing, Sheila ravishing. Oh, I appreciate that, but you're grabbing the wrong one there. We need con in Christ definition, because there's depends on the context, right? Seize and carry off someone by force of a man to rape a woman. So that is what he just said. So Mashah is one of Tahar's teachers and Nathaniel's teacher, yet Nathaniel now no longer ascribes to this.
One thing, Whitey, you forgot. There's payback. We're going to put your butt in the cotton field. We're going to take your women and we're going to ravish them. What you going to do then?
See the 12 tribes chart?
Yeah.
That's the original. Well, an older version.
And he's talking about putting them in the cotton fields in heaven.
They wouldn't call it heaven. They call it the kingdom.
In the kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. I will hope there's no getting back at anybody at the end of everything. Like everything's just, it's a vision of them where there's going to be payback. James Brown, big paybacks for stuff.
You ever seen Django?
In the kingdom. Wow.
Their vision of heaven is like Django.
Wow.
Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to take your women and we're going to ravish them. We'll ravish them. We'll ravish them. We'll ravish them. We'll ravish them. What you going to do then?
What you gonna do then?
So there we got the definition of ravish there too. You guys see that? From the Oxford Dictionary there. So Tahar is actually continuing the One West tradition. He's the one who has not deviated. Wait, turn this down. Okay, we might have time for one more clip. So Marvin, you've been given all kinds of stuff. You've seen GMS. You've seen the old One West School. You saw the Rapping Puppet. You saw Pastor Dow. So do you feel like you've learned a lot, or?
Oh man, I've learned that I've already seen clips before that were unpleasant to me.
Yeah.
And like being here today, seeing this, it's a little worse than I could have imagined. The raping part. I mean, that's wild. Raping in the kingdom.
Yeah,
like
I think
you want to get to the kingdom to rape and to punish someone.
You know, the camp that's going to do the raping. You know, they're going to have a special name for them. You know, they're going to be called.
What's up?
The Cosby Camp. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm joking.
I know.
Ravish.
Wow.
Okay, but go ahead. Well, just so you know, today, not with all of them, but some of the stuff I've shown you is some of the worst stuff that's publicly available. Like that.
Okay.
That one you're seeing sort of the bottom of the barrel a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just so you know, so it's not like everything is like that. I do, want you to know that. But I mean, yeah.
That's tough.
So
do you think a lot of people come to Hebrew like Israelism like for payback, for the get back, looking like this is what happened to us and all the years of slavery and then
100%
civil rights and all that stuff? And
the angrier the person they're talking to, the more likely they are to convert.
That's what I can kind of see. I'm uneducated on all this, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. Like that would be where you would kind of pull from. Because I had said that, I can see definitely someone trying to get back or wanting revenge, and
Now this is probably be one of our last clips. This is from a camp in L.A. I'm going to play here. Just a second. It always starts out with the old one, so just ignore that, everybody. This is true
that love and what?
Oh, the false chart.
Make it a lie. And make a lie. Because also those that are actually making these lies.
So reason why I'm showing this is some of the Hebrew Israelites who do descend from One West are now recognizing that it's wrong. So they're going to be banging on the, as you see here, false 12 tribes chart. So that's kind of good news in a way. They're kind of waking up. But they're not believers yet. But at least they're not believers in the false chart. So I want to play some of this clip, let you hear this camp from L.A. from themselves, what they say.
The Bible says those that love and what? Make it a lie. And make a lie. Because also those that are actually making these lies up, that are pushing this doctrine. That's a steep price to pay. Drop down, verse 18.
So there he's saying, like, you're going to be in trouble with Hebrew Israelites for lies, pushing lies.
Do these guys believe in the raping? You might have already said it, but does this tribe,
Not
sect?
that I would be shocked if they believed in any version of that.
What about the get back and putting them in enslaving?
From what I've heard, they do believe in that. Yes.
Let me ask you this: is there a sect or a group that does not believe in the enslaving and the get back, or is that a universal?
Israel of God, who is here in Phoenix, they used to be on McDowell 44th. I think they've moved since then. They would teach it's more of a employee boss kind of relationship versus harsh, cruel slavery. So there will be order or protocol, they would say, for the quote other nations. So it's not just
right
Europeans, it's Asians. It would also be people from India, Arabs, and people like that also would be subservient in some way to Israel. So it's a lesser, but there's still a racial caste system in heaven, basically.
Okay.
You see. And these guys would hold to that as well.
For I testify unto every man that heareth the word of the prophecy of this book.
Everybody up in here is hearing this right now. Go ahead.
They read from Revelation, by the way.
Any man shall add unto these things.
So if you begin to add to this word, how many of you guys have seen folks that seem to have been adding at this point?
He's talking about the 12 tribes chart, basically, right now. Because that's the topic of this. Because I've watched the full video, so I know the context, too.
I would definitely say that 12 tribe chart is an addition.
Wow.
When you got to go into all of these other books to try to validate your claims. Now we got, and mind you, what I'm not saying, because I know somebody.
So he goes on to qualify himself. He's not saying it's wrong to have other books. He's just saying it proves that it's unbiblical because you got to go to these other places to try to prove this 12 tribes chart.
What's the one book, the book of Enoch, or what's that other? Where's the other book where Enoch's in it? And
yeah, Enoch. Yeah. It's not written by Enoch, but it bears his name.
And do any of the tribes subscribe to that?
The Hebrew Israelite sect known as GOCC utilizes Enoch as well as Jasher and I think Jubilee.
Okay.
Extra canonical books. And almost all One West Hebrew Israelites also hold to the Apocrypha, which historically has been viewed properly so essentially as something that Catholics and Protestants, Catholics hold to and Protestants don't. Yeah. So we'll play maybe one or two more clips from True Nation out there in LA. One of these I played before, so I'll have to make sure it's not the same one. Let's see which one this is. It's only 30 seconds, so let's see what he's saying here.
They was just sitting on a whole lot of pride. You couldn't tell him nothing. He said, when y'all knew who you was, couldn't nobody tell you nothing. I'm going to break you down.
So now this is Yahweh speaking to Israel, saying, you're not being obedient, you're not listening, so I'm going to punish you. Which is basically he's right so far in what's being said in this particular passage he's looking at.
Snatch everything away from you. Because even when you snatch our physicality away from us, we still have mental fortitude that's far superior over the other nations. He said, I got to snatch some of that away from you. You don't know who you are. Let me let you hear nigga for a couple of 100 years.
So there, he's actually mixing categories. Because what he's saying is essentially a supremacist statement. Our intellectual power is better than other people. And God's going to take that away. But then what he says that is God taking away is you're going to forget you're an Israelite. But that's not taking away intellectual prowess. That'd be not knowing your ethnic identity or something. So there's a lot of confusion here. But he's saying that one of the ways you're going to be humbled is by hearing racial slurs instead of what you actually are. So that's what he's saying. So he's taking something that was actually to Israel and then saying, this is what happened to us. It's a way to explain their story.
Okay.
But, I mean, imagine if these were two bald-headed white guys with swastikas tatted on themselves and said, hey, our intellect is clearly superior to these other people's. People would probably just say, this seems like supremacist.
I'd be offended.
Yeah, it seems like supremacists. That line, the guy is saying, hey, we're superior, and these guys, since they don't hold the 12 tribes chart, I guess that they would also be superior over people not on the chart. But the weird thing is they don't believe in the 12 tribes chart, yet most of the people on the chart they still think are Israelites. So it's a little confusing. They have the people on the chart without the chart itself.
Yeah.
So they have a confusing doctrine here. They're kind of 1 foot in, 1 west, 1 foot out.
Over the other nations. He said, I got to snatch some of that away from you. You don't know who you are. Over the other ones, we still.
Yeah, so we're so much smarter than everybody else,
Because even when you snatch our physicality away from us, we still have.
I'm not sure what he means by snatching our physicality. He may mean
enslaving.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe because you're in bondage. Maybe that's what he means. So you can't exercise any prowess if you're in chains, because in real life people aren't Hulk. Maybe that's what he means.
Yeah.
That's what I think he means. A little unclear, but we're trying to track with him.
Snatch our physicality away from us, we still have mental fortitude that's far superior over the other nations.
Mental fortitude that's far superior over the other nations. Who said this? David Duke, Adolf Hitler, a Hebrew Israelite. Probably all three. That's the answer.
Sure did.
Sure did. But this camp's a little more chill, right? At least,
Yeah.
We'll play one more clip. Last clip by this camp. Here we go.
With your own eyes, right? What happens to the little dust particles and whatever's there? What happens when it gets?
This is kind of a long clip. I don't want to play all this. I think that might be a good place as far as the clips go. And then I'm going to show you a couple pictures, and maybe we'll call it a day there.
All right.
So, what do you think when I first invited you on this, Marvin? Because
I thought I am going to look like a total idiot. This is out of my realm on here because you just make it look so easy. When I see you do your thing, you're just up there with the vocab and the gift of gab, and you're well read. You speak well. Nah, I was like, man, I can't.
That's good considering my mental fortitude is far inferior to that of the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm glad I came. It's a little nerve wracking. You don't want to. I don't want to say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to mess up your vibe, what you got going on. But if you're good with it, I trust you. You invited me here, so.
No, you
haven't steered me wrong yet, so I ride with you.
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
Can I show you a couple pictures and get some reactions to images?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Do you know who that is?
That is Kodak Black.
If you had to guess, who do you think he's with?
I'm gonna say he's with a Hebrew Israelite.
The Light of Zion, Hebrew Israelite camp out of Florida. So if you had to guess, when do you think they probably ended up coming in contact with each other?
When he got famous. That'd be my first guess.
There's something that happened once he got famous. Where did he spend a significant amount of his time?
Oh, well, did he get locked up?
He got locked up.
Okay.
Okay. And they have like a kind of like a prison ministry.
Oh, so since being famous, Kodak has been locked up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's like part of his.
Okay.
He got mad one time when one of those radio shows asked him about it and walked off or whatever.
Okay.
All right. So have you heard have you heard Kendrick album's last album, The Steppers or whatever?
I've heard a little bit. I haven't heard the whole thing yet.
Who was one of the main features on there? Do you remember?
Couldn't tell you.
Kodak Black.
Okay.
Now, stylistically, would you think they go together?
I mean, I answer that with two brains. No. But
you're funny.
But the other part of it is, I could see that happening.
Well, you know why you could see it happening? Because both have connections to the Israelite doctrine.
And they're like-minded.
Yes, that's exactly why he reached out to him. In fact, Kendrick and this was confirmed. This is the reason why. This right here is Kendrick Lamar with his cousin, Carl. And if you listen to this, did you listen to Damn?
Briefly, not all the way through.
There's a bunch of voicemails on there. They're left by Carl when he's doing Hebrew Israelite teaching. At the time, he was a member of IUIC. He's since left and called IUIC a cult. But if you listen to Damn, it has a bunch of Israelite stuff on it. And so that is the connection there.
What year was that?
When did Damn come out? I don't know, about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I think Damn is way better than his last album.
Okay.
So let's see if you know who this is. You might not, so I don't want you to feel bad.
Oh, that's it's either Harvey or Horace.
That's Horace Grant.
Okay.
What's it look like he's doing there, if you had to guess?
Is that the fist? Is that I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
yeah. Sometimes we call that the Shalom Dap.
Shalom Dap. Is that a joke or is that what they call it? What does he call it?
So the truth is, I don't know if that's something we made up or if that's what they really call it. I actually don't know.
Right.
I don't. It's like one of those things where I use it so much and I don't know if it's a real term or not.
It becomes your reality.
Yes, seriously. So he's there with the member from Sakari. You see the shirt there that says Sakari?
Okay.
And they're at some kind of event. And do you notice what's on the bottom of Horace Grant's shirt?
Is that light blue? Is it like
border of blue with fringes?
Border of blue fringes. That's what I'm trying to gather. Did Carl have the fringes?
Carl did have the fringes.
Carl had the fringes.
Nice call. I'll show you Carl's fringes. He did have the fringes. Yeah. And of course, who else do you think had the fringes?
Like I know Carl. Did Carl have them fringes?
Theirs are a little bit different. And he has I think it's called Talit. I always mispronounce it. But he's geared up in that as well.
I mean, I'm not mad at some of that gear. I'm not mad at
Okay.
some of it.
We don't have to hate on everything. If
Yeah.
there's something we can like, let's like it. So notice what a shirt says there?
No.
Well, I'm saying look
Ja.
at no. J-A-H, so what's in the middle? At the top is a lion, so if you had to guess.
Oh, Judah. Oh, okay.
You got it. And then it says Genesis 49 because Judah is mentioned in Genesis 49.
Okay.
So I'm saying like this shirt with who he's with,
Mm-hmm,
with the stance, with the fringes, Horace Grant seems like he's all into Hebrew Israelism.
Mm-hmm. He's down. He's down with him.
Comments on Horace Grant's playing career. What do you think about him?
I think he played in a great era, and that's what that era was so great of basketball.
Wasn't
where
it though?
the big man was there. Because like me coaching high school ball, it was real tough. You know how we talked about the WNBA and the NBA, and one of the things that I ran into a lot coaching boys basketball was it'd be this tallest kid on the team, and then him and his parents are trying to tell me he's going to be a guard. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but the kid is 6'3", and the next tallest person on our team is 5'7", 5'8". He is a post and a forward today, and that just I could not, and it just kept happening more and more and more. Big men outside at the 3-point line want to shoot up. Then when they do get under the hoop, they getting tossed around and not grabbing boards. I said, I'm done with this. I'm going to the girls' game, and I'm coaching here. It's fundamental, and but Horace, he was in a great time of basketball.
World's number one WNBA fan over.
I love it. WNBA, women's college basketball. Hey, I'm Prescott. We're in Prescott, Phoenix Christian High School. We're going to the playoffs. Let's go.
Okay.
Headed to Prescott.
Well, speaking of basketball, let's show a couple basketball images. We're winding this down, but this is too fun. So I know this is a little hard. I'm going to make
Kyrie on the right?
Okay, so you got Kyrie on the right. Now, if you had to guess what else is going on, this is a Hebrew Israelite generated image, by the way, produced by IUIC. What else do you see here?
I couldn't even. Is it someone we've seen already in the clip?
Well, there's Kyrie, but on the left is like a stereotypical Jewish man.
Oh, that's what I was talking about, the person on the left. Oh,
Tell me about this man's eyes.
Wow. Are they insinuating like some devil stuff?
Yeah, do you think the man's eyes are naturally that way?
I'm going to assume not.
Yeah, in fact, you can see the Photoshop. The eye goes over the glasses.
Oh,
They Photoshopped his eyes to make it look like a rat or something, like with the full black eye.
Okay.
And look what it says on the bottom left with him.
Okay, we're going fake and real Jew. Is that what we're doing here?
You got it. You see, now you're catching on. Now, do you think Kyrie sanctioned this? No, but they took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah. So this is, what is that, Revelations 2:9 over there?
Revelation 2:9. They misuse it. So it is a real passage in the Bible, but it's referring specifically to local Jewish people who were persecuting Christians at the time, saying you're not really Jewish in the true sense because you reject the Messiah. That's what that passage is about. And that's where the phrase synagogue of Satan comes from. It's not saying that applies to every Jew or something, whoever lived or something like that. And it's not a claim of ethnicity either. It's a claim of theology.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of Kyrie's trade, man?
Good for him. We get to keep making money. You know, I think
he's gonna make money no matter what.
Well,
give me
you know
something
what?
else besides that.
No. I honestly thought at a point they were going to put this man out the league with all the COVID stuff, and he can't play at home. I thought he was on his way out of the league, and one part of my brain was saying, "Brother, just play the game.
Shut up and dribble."
Just play
you about to say that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Not shut up and dribble.
Oh, okay.
But
I was just saying, some people say that.
Like my brother, play the game and get this. I remember my brother Cambrell told me when I was going through my rebellious stage and I was just rebelling against my mom in high school. He said, "Just play the game," and just play the game. Bro, that's part of me what I want to say. But then I'm like, hey, I've been passionate about something on a job before.
Right.
I've been very passionate about something that I truly, truly believe in. And it's like, no, there's nothing bigger than what I believe in right now.
Okay.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm just glad he's still making money. That's my thing. But yeah.
Somebody said the vocab's trying to feed this dude answers.
Trying to what?
Trying to feed this dude answers.
Trying to feed me answers?
Yeah.
To what? Like, you got an example?
I think with what I just said, they're trying to say. By the way, that's not me saying I agree with that. That's what he was saying. I was just saying. Anyways.
What, to shut up and dribble?
Yeah, I think that's what they're getting at. But anyways.
Oh man, I know how to answer questions, my brother or my sister.
Cree says something else for you.
The only WNBA.
It's like that Family Guy clip. That's like that Family Guy clip. That's for the fan to decide. Well, Hebrew Israelites
feeding you and feeding you and feeding
okay,
you.
bro. You know, there was a multiple Kyrie images that were made during this time. Check this one out.
They aged him, huh? Look like the Chancellor, Palpatine.
Yeah, notice what they did to Cuban there? He doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
They made him look so you know Cuban's not Cuban, he's Jewish.
Wow, that's deep.
So they specifically pull out. Now, what's interesting is this was made around the time Kyrie played for Brooklyn. Ironic. Who does Kyrie play for now?
Wow, that's good stuff.
You see what I'm saying? They didn't know he was going to go there.
Wait, when was this?
This meme was made during the Kyrie controversy when he tweeted out that movie by Ron Dalton called Hebrews to Negroes, and it had some anti-Semitic content in it.
Right.
And so what it is IUIC made a meme in which they're saying true heritage, true education, saying, look, this is a real Israelite. This is a fake Jew. That's what they're trying to say here.
Okay.
And they use Mark Cuban, incidentally, because he's an NBA owner who's Jewish.
Right.
But now Kyrie plays for Mark Cuban. Isn't that ironic?
That's beautiful poetry right there.
I thought you kind of liked that one. Yeah, they went all out during that Kyrie thing. I mean, look.
Question.
They called it the Brooklyn Blitz when they were out there.
The individual that said you're feeding me, I'm sorry, I'll try to let this go. You do got to have thick skin. Is he a team? Is he a friend? Is that a joke, or is this someone we don't know, or is this someone who typically says negative things, or just what? Because I got bars.
I don't know who this is. You know, we get so many people in here.
Okay.
But there's a lot of haters in the comment section.
Yeah, because I can't really read it. I started trying to read that for a good long while, and I was like, I guess too hard to try to.
Yeah, I haven't been able to fully interact. You know, look at all these comments. You know what I'm saying? So they do that kind of thing.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
That's kind
of cool. More power to you, brother.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good.
That's a mild comment.
Good for him. It's mild because
Larry Love says, if you guys know who Dr. Michael Brown is, he just uploaded Teaching or Should We Out on a Sabbath Day. I do know who Michael Brown is, and let me say this real quick. Check this out. Today I went downtown Phoenix, and everybody should know. Well, it's okay if you don't, whatever, that the Super Bowl is happening in Phoenix. So downtown's an NFL experience and all this other stuff. A lot's going on down there. Well, Alazar Ben Loya, Guerrilla Hebrew of the Sakari sect, is in town to do some street teaching as part of the Super Bowl stuff because it's a public event, whatever, right? And so I have been working behind the scenes tirelessly on setting up a debate between Dr. Michael Brown and Guerrilla Hebrew, a.k.a. Alazar. And so I went downtown while they were setting up doing some stuff to meet with him to shoot a video promoting the debate and to work out the final details. And it actually went very well. It's very civil. The reason I say all that is Dr. Brown is going to be debating a really well-known Hebrew Israelite. I have a brief video. It's just me crossing the street. It's not going to be anything fancy, but it'll kind of just show you. I'm just going to show this one from my phone. You're going to briefly see Alazar. But the video is going to come out later this week because we're announcing the debate, and it went well. Oh, sorry. I'm going to show you. He's in the crowd right there. It's going to focus. I'll show you later. So it's kind of interesting. So he was with a bunch of his guys. We actually had a very fruitful, productive conversation. And I'm very excited about this debate. So Dr. Brown is going to be debating Guerrilla Hebrew. And so this is the scene from downtown Phoenix. And that's the crowd that's at the light waiting for the little thing to turn. And he was over there. And then we met across the street. So that's him. I didn't take a bunch of video or photos, but I just wanted to show you that because it's a pretty exciting announcement. And we had a good build, like I said. So shout out for that happening. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Hey, look. DJ Cree One just gave us a super chat.
Yeah.
What? I think that one is supposed to be for you, ma'am. So $1.99, strictly for Marvin.
What does super chat mean?
So a super chat is where you're signed up through the Google system. You have to have a form of payment attached to your YouTube account, basically. And then when you see a creator that you appreciate their work that they do, usually during a live chat, you give them a super chat. And there's a couple of reasons. One is just the sheer support.
Mhm.
The other is maybe you want your comment to be seen. And so
Mm.
super chat is supposed to get you noticed because it highlights it. Notice how over here it's highlighted.
Mhm. I
So
got you, I
and then the
got you.
idea is, hey, put that comment on the screen. But sometimes people do it just because, they're sending love and they don't necessarily have a comment. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So with that, man, let's
Crazy Wheezy.
yeah, Crazy Weezy. Everyone, DJ Cree One is a producer, DJ, and me, Marvin, and Cree have done lots of shows and hip hop events together, and we still make some music together every now and then.
Yeah.
Any final words, bro? Thanks for coming through.
My mind and brain is so far superior to need to be fed. And no, no, this is great. This is great. No, it's all fun and games. It's great. It's great. It's good stuff.
All right, y'all. Check out the music, Marvin Sumter. I'll try to put some of the links in the description box. Peace out. God bless. Shalom. I'll see y'all.